I don't know. He just texted me. Yeah. He said to let you know that he was researching.
Okay.
About 10 minutes to tell you what it's about. I told him I said,
Everybody's ready. It's time for our monthly board meeting, October the 8th at 10:02 a.m. Roll call, please.
Ron Ellis,
Present.
Brent Gentry,
Present.
Jim Marlowe.
Present.
All right. If you would, if everybody would please rise, we'll do the national anthem. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you say a prayer, please?
Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us, Lord. We ask your special blessings upon everyone that's here at our meeting. We pray for all those that are out serving our country, Lord, defending it wherever they may be throughout the world. We just pray a special blessing upon them and keep everyone safe, Lord. Lord, we ask that you be with us, this board, and lead, guide, and direct us through our meeting. And we pray this through Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey, Ron, you can sing now.
We don't want that. Okay, let's see. Jerry, would you like to give a report, please?
Sure. All right, so things right now are kind of smooth. CDS just replaced the firewall. Now, there were a few little issues here and there, but those have kind of been worked out. It was to be expected in that replacement. So there's still a lot of little things that can be done there. I had some pretty big concerns. I discussed those things with the guys who came in to replace that firewall. So we're working to kind of fix some of the issues. Separating this network a little bit, getting things split up, and adding some security permissions and whatnot. So really there's not a whole lot else. One of the big things probably needs to be looked at, and I realized with some of the questions you guys asked about upgrading to Windows 10, that no one's really kind of giving you guys the talk about security. And it's good that we're being proactive in moving now, but the big issue is this tax software. This thing is written on a software stack that went end of life almost 15 years ago. It's not up to current coding standards. Basically, everyone has to run as an administrator for this program to work, which is a big security no-no in today's day and age. I know mostly you guys have been looking at this from a fiscal perspective rather than a security perspective. It's costing you X amount, and to get modern software, it's going to cost X times whatever.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, but it really represents a big security threat to the network, especially if there's a data breach. If you end up with information that's stolen and released, because there is some private and sensitive information. I know not everything is public record here. That's a huge liability. Imagine having to provide credit monitoring services to everyone in the county because private information is released. Yeah, that it is a big liability. It needs to be replaced. And this really, it's a huge liability because it is crippling the county security standards, having everyone run as an administrator to run that software. Because, any software that runs on these computers will run with privileges that user has. So if you get a piece of malware, that piece of malware can now run as an administrator and can do far more damage than if it infected a computer just running as a local user. So that's something that needs to be looked at.
Okay, so what are the solutions on something like this?
Looking for a piece of software that is more modern.
Tax software we're talking.
Yeah, the tax program that everyone's using.
And there are lots of packages out there. We've actually looked at one before, and the company that we had looked at going to a new accounting system did have a tax program. You pay extra for that. That's different than the accounting package. But there are at least 2 other companies that I'm aware of that provide this kind of service also.
When you're talking taxing, we're talking about the same type of software.
For real
that's
estate,
there?
for real estate taxes.
Same thing, what, Brent?
Yeah, I know
No.
the assessors
What we bought was
use
a
it,
county
the
package.
treasurer uses it. There's a lot of different departments.
The
that
assessor,
use
the
that.
treasurer, and the county clerk
Yeah.
uses it. It's the software for the taxes.
And Bill is the one that provides that. I believe.
Yes, currently.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, I'm really not familiar with all of the features needed for a software package that you guys need. So, I mean, whoever's really, I guess the different departments would have to get together and determine what it is, what requirements you need to cover before you, make a decision on what software package to.
Right. Usually it's the three offices that get together. It's like that.
But other than that, I have nothing else.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jerry.
Bud.
Appreciate it.
And Brent, it is totally different. It's a complete different package. It's like the accounting package. It's its own ball entity.
That had to be years ago, you guys discussed that before, 'cause I remember talking about some kind of package.
Yeah, we've had that for a long time. It's-
And we have discussed this before. The question becomes, if something happens to Mr. Beal, what happens with the support? I know it's a one-person show,
That's our concern.
and that is a major concern. Going forward.
Whose departments does it go under?
Technically, it would go under three different departments, as I understand it.
It's like what she said, they'd all three have to get together and talk about it.
Right.
So it's done, so it'd be, each
Three of
category
us
person will have, it's in the line for the budget I'm talking about.
We all have to agree on the same thing because it works in all three offices.
That may take a while, everybody agreeing around here.
And then the cost of this is not cheap. The last time we looked at this, just for a tax package was around $50,000-$60,000. That doesn't count support.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's been.
We've looked at it
quite a
since
few
I've
years.
been, yeah.
It was quite a few years ago.
Saunders here.
Yeah, I believe so.
So,
Add it to the wish list.
Mr. Gray,
Good morning. We've got a couple things here. The first thing is Country Storage Subdivision. Stephanie's got the plat down there. This is a really small 0.39 of an acre of lot. It's got a storage building off on it that's, the access comes off of 166. It doesn't impact any of our roads. I reviewed it, mappings in Jeff's office has reviewed it, the taxes are current. I would have had it at the last meeting, but we had to get IDOT certification on it since it fronts 166. But it's ready to go now. I think everything's fine with it, so. Just need your
so
approval.
you need a motion for that?
I'll make a motion. For county storage subdivision. Country.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe?
Yay.
Brent Gentry?
Yay.
Ron Ellis?
Yay.
The second thing I've got up today is approval of of one wheel loader we put out for bid recently. Now, this is going to be on our next year's budget. We've got the funds for it. We're good there. I got 3 bids. The low bid came from Irv Equipment out of Mount Vernon for a John Deere 544M. We have 2 of those machines. We're going to be trading in a Cat 924 GZ. That equipment's starting to get old and repairs are piling up. And so this is something we want to keep our equipment in good condition, rotation. So, and that low bid's about $15,000 under Favic, and then of course Roland was almost 24,000 higher. But it's a good machine. We've got the pair to it. It's one model newer or older. I'm sorry. It's but it's still a 544, and it's a really good machine. We've been real happy with it. So.
On these machines, all this equipment, do you use any type of association or anything, purchase special pricing? Or?
I don't. I've had, there's a state bid through IDOT that I could, on the state, and then there's some other federal programs and things. I haven't, just I didn't want, I've always been leery that somebody would think I'm got some, I'm nefarious going, but most time our prices we get are better than what's on those. And plus we are more specific on what we're asking. Sometimes what they have in those programs, you kind of take what they get. Now I will tell you this on our tractors, when we bid those out, a lot of times they're quoting us the prices that are on the state bid. And so they're identical. I've not followed that just because I've been leery of, I want it to just look like we're it's a competitive thing. The other thing too is a lot of times those bids are to vendors that are upstate, and this keeps things pretty local. So that's kind of why I do what I do.
Also, dealing with EMS is not necessarily a good thing.
CMS, yeah. Yeah. I don't
We
disagree.
experienced that with the salt.
Yeah, that's coming out. We renewed our contract. I was just before I came up, I was trying to find our contract on there, but we renewed I think our salt price will be the same as we paid last year. I think the folks that are getting them fresh contracts are going to be paying a little more money than we are. But like I said, we just got them today, so I'm trying to sort through all that as we speak. So
Then I'll make a motion then that we approve the purchase of the wheel loader from the John Deere 544L from Urban Equipment for $113,900.
Jim Marlin.
Yeah.
Brett Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
I wanted to update you guys, Slim Branch Road Bridge, we opened that this past Friday afternoon. There's a little bit work left to do. We got to take out the detour, run around there and site grade it and seed it. We've got to walk around tomorrow, the contractor does, with the railroad tomorrow morning. But it's a nice looking bridge, and have you been on it, Ron?
Yeah, it held.
Did it?
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Are they going to did the hunting club want that service road, or does that have to get removed too?
They had a choice with us keeping in part of it, or if they wanted some of the rock off of it, they could have the rock. And he chose to take some of the rock. So the subcontractor that's doing the earthwork out there is going to take him a few loads of rock, and then they're going to site grade the whole thing. The crossing to the north will come out. The temporary crossing will come out, and there's some earthwork on that north end down there where there's a culvert and things that are going to be done, and all that will be seeded. And then same way on that part of the road that parallels
The access road to the tower, that'll stay.
the access to the road will stay. Yeah. And I talked to the property owner there, and I think we'll be good once we get it all done and get it seeded. But we're getting close. We're getting real close. They got really to the end of the month and we'll have to shut them down again if they don't have it all done. But hopefully they'll have that detour removed and seeded, site graded and everything here in a week or so.
Will they put any kind of a guardrail up on the east side of the bridge going up to the top of it because of the slope?
The guardrail that's up there, there's 100 foot or so on the approaches up to it. That's what was designed in the plans that the consultant recommended. So that's what's put up. And then there's, of course, the fence on the bridge. But all the rail that's going to be put up is there.
Okay.
So and that's straight from the consultant that did the work, And of course, they get approval from the bridge office on all their design and things like that.
I don't know what this took, but probably around 12 years that this has been going on with the Canadian Railroad.
Our section number is 05, so it's been
14 years.
14 years in the making. I've been working on it since I've been here. It's quite a project. But that's done. The long wall panel up on Paulton Road, they just went underneath this last week. We're fixing the road. We started yesterday and we're fixing the ends today. That should be done today. Of course, we've got the bridge on Grassy Road that's continuing. They've got the superstructure removal done. Now they're starting to form. Hopefully here in 2-3 weeks, we'll have that back open. So,
On the Polk Road, do we have to put people out there for, stop and slow and all that?
we did last week when they were going underneath, when it was moving, we kept people out there 24/7. Since we've made the repairs, we had taken them off. It generally runs 7 to 10 days is what it has run in the past. Actually, more like 7 to 14 days. We've had a few run up to 14. But they're so shallow, and the timing, they're only mining 4 days a week. And when they finished with their last, that Thursday before, they were right at the road. And then Monday, when they started, is when we started. And they come past us and got through it real quick, so it dropped real quick that within a week. And now we're fixing the south end. The north end is not going to need repair. There was actually a rise there, and when the road fell, it actually just kind of took that out, and so we don't have any repair on the north end this time. So, but we'll have that done today, and then we'll be good. Now I'm already talking to the coal mine about fixing those 3 panels that are going to need final repair to bring them up to 3R standards according to IDOT's guidelines that we want them to do. And so they know about that, and that'll be something we'll be doing next year, and they'll be paying for that. I will tell you, and this is all hearsay, but there's all kind of talk about some of the stuff at the coal mines between Mock Mine, Viking, and the 2 up in, which Viking's one of them in Franklin County. I'm hearing all kinds of financial difficulties that they're going through, hawking their equipment, things, trying to pay the bills, but they have slowed their production down to 4 days a week. I hear that all the mines have huge stockpiles, and at the river there's huge stockpiles. They're having trouble getting the coal out, but we'll see what happens. That they're paying us, so at least so far. So
Illinois coal, 80% of it goes to China, so it's caught in the tariff war. And so that's what's going on. Then in the state of Illinois, the current administration would like to see all coal-fired power plants in the state of Illinois eliminated. And there are 4 power plants presently as we speak that are set for closure within the next 12 to 18 months.
The majority ownership in those 3 mines is Mr. Murray, and I'm hearing all kinds of financial difficulty that he's having. But there's they've kind of got a company built around it, so there's ownership from all different areas. So I don't think it'll stop anything. It's just there's going to be a hiccup here, I think, beyond what you mentioned. So.
Thanks, bud.
Right.
For the accounting services bid, I know that we haven't heard anything back from the Attorney General yet. I would like to just point out that we've gotten the audit for this last year. It was late. It came into us in August, and we still have not had the exit audit findings, which is typically done. We didn't have one from last year, and we haven't had one from this year. And that's supposed to be part of our financial package that we have for the $75,000 for the audit. So I just wanted to point that out. And I assume that there's no interest in doing anything with bidding for the accounting services at this time, right? I didn't think so. So we'll move forward. Miss Angie.
Hey, thank you.
Doing good.
How are you, my dear?
You look a lot better. Look after,
Have a smile on your face.
I mean, when you call now, you're like,
I don't know.
it's glowing.
I don't always have a smile.
Don't go there. You don't have the red rashes and stuff going on.
Oh, I still do. I can help that. That just happens. Well, I just wanted to, before you talk about my letter, tell each one of you personally that I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. I've got a little cold, so I thought, what if I can't talk today? I thought you guys would probably be excited. But I wanted to tell you that I appreciate the faith that you guys put in me when you appointed me in 2015. I appreciate the support that I've had since I've been here. I feel like all four of us have worked together to try to make the county and my office better with the improvements we've had coming down with the e-filing and the electronic time. I feel like that kind of went smoothly, and I'm excited that we were able to add some staff in the office, and I feel like that I wouldn't have been able to do that if you guys wouldn't have supported that and understood and been there for the office and for me. And in doing that addition, I was able to do the additional checks and balances, which I know we talked about, and I was excited about that. So thank you for allowing me to do that. I'm proud of everything we've all worked together to do. I'm proud that the collection got forward. I know you guys were wanting to do that for a while, and I'm glad that we worked together in my office and the state's attorney's office and you guys and all of my clerks that that's going forward. I looked this morning and 1.4 million is what's been collected at no expense to the taxpayers.
And that's helped not just us, but all the municipalities that
Mhm.
went along with that.
Exactly. So I'm really excited of that got going.
Is Becky Jensen still in charge of that? Okay.
And Becky does an excellent job. Anytime that we need help, she always comes in. You were talking about the audit. I just got my audit report, and I'm really happy that the second year in a row, there's 0 audit findings. So I think when I came in, there was 47. So we've, my office and my clerks, so we've worked hard, and I know they've worked hard, and excited about that. And I wanted to make sure and thank, Rachel came with me today, and I wanted to thank my 2 chief deputies, Rachel Moak and Amy Hobbs, because all of the changes and improvements would not have been able to have been made without they worked hard, they're dedicated, and they've supported me. And everyone in my office, all of the clerks have been amazing. We've had so many changes with the statute coming down, with the fee changes and the electronic changes. And I could not say more about Amy and Rachel and the clerks and how they've jumped on board and got this going. I think that things are running smooth, and I know that the office is working hard for the public, and because we're public servants, and I think they realize that. And I'm excited that the things that we're doing. And I wanted to thank you and thank them for everything that you guys have done for me, and I've enjoyed my time as circuit clerk.
That's awesome.
Well, when you stepped in, it was a difficult time at best. And it wasn't the most ideal situation with which coming into an office, but one that had a major theft on top of it. And what you guys have accomplished over there in a relatively short period of time has been really remarkable. And, Brent and Jim may have something to say, but on behalf of all the taxpayers of Williamson County, thank you for all that you did, because you've really done a tremendous job, and nobody sees what really goes on over there. They just know that if the court system isn't working right, it's your fault. And and a lot of it mandated on top of it has been admirable. So
Thank you.
good luck with what you do over at SIU.
Thank you.
And we're glad for the time that you gave us.
Thank you. I'm excited, but I'll miss everyone.
Hopefully you can keep the foundation going.
Well, Angie, we talked, years ago about you running, and you told some people that you did not want to run. And I remember calling you, stand in my garage. We talked about an hour about the pros and the cons. And for people that run for office that have young kids, it's tough.
Brett, I think you left out a few cons.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I remember, you know, pushing my kids in a stroller door to door. And I wouldn't recommend it for some young kids. But you did 360, turned around, ran. You came into, without going into details, an awful mess. I know Kim Meyer, or Ron said Kim Meyer was unbelievably, but you know, and the knowledge you brought in there, you and your team. And, the hours you guys put in, the findings you kept finding is probably the reason why you have a good, clean bill of health today on your audit report. And, then until recently, I talked to you for another hour about what you're going to do, and I saw a smile on your face that you're ready to leave. And you know, when you come off as older, you're also a babysitter too at times with people, some of the staff. And whoever takes your place has got a gift to come into a good thing right now. And it's because of all the hard work you guys put in. And I feel sorry for whoever gets in there, to have to keep it going the same way. And people do watch. And you guys did a great job. We'll miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you, and I've always felt in my heart that you're the right person at the right time for that office, and I always knew I felt I had the confidence that you could handle everything over there. You jumped into the fire when you came in. You know, you had an election to deal with as well as trying to straighten out the office, and a lot of pressure. But I think you were the right person, and I'll be sorry to see you go. You know, we've had a lot of conversations, and you know, but I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
But I hope you understand, if we don't accept this, you're still here.
Yeah, that's
I was just thinking the same thing.
I appreciate your
I'm
support.
just saying, don't guarantee.
And I will miss you guys, and I'll miss my staff and Rachel and Amy.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and your faith and support.
You're welcome. Thank you.
At this time, I'll make a motion to accept Angie Pollock Coach's resignation from circuit clerk's office.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe?
Yeah.
Brett Gentry?
Yeah.
Ron Ellis?
Yeah. All right, we have the
And that was effective
18th of this month
the
at 4 p.m.
at 4 p.m. on the
Add
18th.
that in there for the motion,
Yeah.
October 18th.
So then we'll have somewhere between now and the 18th, we'll have a meeting that I've talked with Tommy Caliper. Yeah, I had trouble saying his last name. I've talked with him, and we talked about the procedure, and because this is new for him also, and he has someone in mind that would like to do that position, and we're supposed to find out this week for sure if that person is going to for sure put his name or her name forward, going for the to be the circuit clerk starting on the 21st of this month. So we'll have more coming on that one. The next is the 2019-2020 regular session board meeting schedule that we have for this next year. So I'll make a motion that we accept the 2019-2020 regular session board meeting schedule.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe?
Yep.
Brett Gentry? Ron Ellis?
Okay. And then we have a contract for public defender for Williamson County for Megan Rich. She is a licensed attorney in good standing in the state of Illinois. Her time of service will run from October 1 of 2019 to September 30th, 2020. She shall provide representation for indigent parties in juvenile matters, whether civil or criminal in nature, and at the direction of the Circuit Court of Williamson County. So I make a motion that we accept Megan Rich as a new public defender. Her salary, as she's an independent contractor, her salary will be $40,000 per year.
Who place she taking?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I don't
You
know.
you know who she,
Klingeman, Daniel Klingeman,
I don't know who speak.
Who's?
Daniel Klingeman.
Okay.
He was appointed as state's attorney in Union County.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
right.
okay. Okay, I'll second that on Megan.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay. Brent, you want to read the minutes?
Minutes for September 10, 2019. I make a motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
September 24, 2019, motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah.
Minutes from September 23, 2019, to accept.
I'll second that, I'm sorry.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah. All right. Jim, would you like to accept the reports, please?
I just want to read to accept the following reports. The Public Defender Report for August, the Public Defender Report for September, the Williamson County Clerk Vital Records, August, the Williamson County Clerk Fees Account for August, the Williamson County Clerk Real Estate Trust for August, Williamson County Clerk Mobile Home Trust for August, and the Williamson County General Fund for August.
Okay. Then we have the 2020 holiday schedule. There, had a little bit of a discussion. There is a difference between what we have for the county as a holiday schedule for 2020, but versus what the court system has. The court system does not take off November 5th. It's election day. And the reason for that we do, as I had some discussions with some people, just so it's on the record, we have a lot of people, even though Amanda's office is very busy that day, I can't imagine why,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people in the county that are judges. And
Isn't there polling here too?
It's a polling place here.
so we have, it's always been on the general election, that day is off. So I wanted to point that out as to why there's a difference between our holiday schedule and the holiday schedule for the court system.
That's only for here.
Right. The court system is open that day, and they don't do anything. They don't have any court cases or anything like that. For the most part, from what I understand, it's a catch-up day. And it only affects the judges. It's the state's attorney's office is closed, circuit clerk's office is closed. It's just the public defender's office is closed. It's just the court system itself.
Circuit
is
Clerk's
closed.
office closed that day?
I'm sorry?
Circuit Clerk's closed too?
Mhm.
So basically, it's pretty much everybody.
Everybody that's under the umbrella of Williamson County is closed,
Except for the judges.
except for the
So
judges.
that'd be kind
So
of, okay,
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2020 holiday schedule.
second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay. Jim, you want to do the, or not Jim, Brent, you want to do the rest of those sale of new owners?
I can't wait. So sell to owner Jeff Moore, 0211-477-002. Make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Okay,
Sell new owner Tara Curry, 02-04-178-003. Motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
Motion to accept sell to new owner Douglas McGregor, 05-29-45-1-038.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
yay.
Sell to new owner VIP Group, 02-13-388-006.
I'll second that.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
Sell to new owner, accept Victor Senzer, 02-24-240-021. Motion on that.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
Motion to accept sell to new owner Shelley Rutherford, 13-012-16.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
How come that one only has 3 digits?
Mobile home.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright. So,
All right. Next is a travel reimbursement for Rick Gentry for a trip from 9/17 to 9/19 to Washington DC for $1,154.79.
Yeah, I just want to say, that was a trip that was paid for by UCCI. They allowed $1,250. I came in almost $100, $95, and I got less than what they allowed, so I was under budget. And I don't know, the question I've got, Stephanie, I don't know if you know the answer, do they just write the county back a check? for
Yeah.
The exact amount?
They will write the county a check for whatever your
$11.54.
bill that
Okay.
you submitted.
Okay.
So-
11.54.
So
Okay, all right.
with that in mind though, I mean, so you put that on the county card, correct?
And receipt, yeah.
Okay, so do we do this or do we wait for that check to come in to pay for the bill?
No.
No, it'll all come out of that line item, so when I get a check, it'll be reimbursed, the general fund will be reimbursed.
So it's gonna
Okay.
come out of the
But
travel line item?
it doesn't go back into that line. It just goes into the miscellaneous income of the county.
That's what I was asking, because some of that would be, because I think we only had like about 3,000 in there.
It'll only leave about $100 left in that account.
Well, we better slam the brakes on it because it's,
So that's why I'm wondering if to hold that until that check comes and just apply
Well,
that.
It
it's
check.
doesn't
still
matter
taken
because
out of that
we
line
can't,
item
they're saying it goes through the general
regardless.
fund.
It goes into the miscellaneous revenue fund
Okay.
of the county, which is totally different from the expense. It doesn't get offset.
I know what you're saying. It doesn't make a lot of sense because it is a travel, but it's coming on I put it on the card to keep it clean so I can match all the receipts that go with it. And then you're saying that once 1,100 and whatever it is comes in, it'll drop into the general fund. So that'll leave about $100 in this account, so we can't be going.
What'll
But
happen,
here's the deal. See, I put mine on my card so that they reimburse me, but it won't be full. And so the $100 isn't gonna cover the rest of mine, so I guess I'm just out of pocket.
We'll be $1,250.
But it won't cover my expenses. My expenses were more than that.
you still have the right to turn it in. Because what'll happen is if the money's gonna, you'd have to do an accounting where you'd show the $1,250 in, you detail all the expenses, show that the money came in. I'd recommend making a copy of the check to show that. And then what's left, you'd submit on the voucher to get reimbursed.
No, I understand,
And then that would,
but
the fact that it would put the line in the red, we just have to vote on it. Because it's doing just like
no,
with any of the other.
I won't do that, but I understand. I'll second this.
I make the motion. I'll make the motion that we pay it.
Okay, we got a second, Jim Marlowe,
No, we're going in the line, okay.
Jim,
Yes, I seconded it.
yeah, now we're voting on it, Jim Marlowe,
Okay, yeah,
Rick Gentry,
Abstain.
Ron Ellis.
Yeah,
and that's not gonna cover this.
yeah, well,
It's,
after
that's
this,
after.
after this-
Oh, it's after this?
Right.
Okay, that was included, okay.
so
And,
next,
and this other one too, for Ron?
Yes.
Okay,
so next we have a reimbursement for a meeting, UCCI meeting that Jim had in Springfield for a quarterly meeting, 390 miles, it was $226.20. Make a motion that we accept the payment for that.
Second.
Jim Marlowe,
abstain.
Rick Gentry,
Hey.
Ron Ellis.
Okay. And then the last was a meal that I had had with one of the county office holders. And for $22.21, submit for reimbursement. I'm not making that motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Jim Marlowe,
Okay.
Rick Gentry,
Yeah.
Ron Ellis.
Abstain. All right.
All right.
Anything from the public?
Any any one of you?
Has Kevin gotten a new phone yet? Do you know?
No,
Either
he
one?
hasn't.
I told him to get it.
He can't get the PIN number.
Okay.
You have to
Oh, is
PIN
this
number.
one of these deals where?
No, it, for some reason back years ago, they had my name on it.
Yeah.
And the lady, I told him, I texted him, I said, tell the lady to call me, I'll take care of it. And I didn't know the PIN number at the time, but I can give her my social security number, get the PIN number.
Correct.
And he said, okay. Well, they never called me.
He said that they won't call you, you'll have to call them,
So I wouldn't go in.
or go in.
I'll go in today. Heck, I'll
I
go
think,
in.
was it Tracy still on that?
It's a Cooper deal.
It was jacked up.
Well, why can't?
I'll just
okay,
go in
why-
there today.
Okay, so my
Sir.
question is then why couldn't we just like start over on it? Like,
I would rather it be that way.
Just-
She was on.
just clear it all, close that account, open a new one, and
I'll
get
give you a report tomorrow. We'll be in a meeting anyway tomorrow. I'll go out there today. I'll discuss it.
see what we can do.
I got the general manager or whatever, main manager, to my friend, I'll just say, hey, here's the deal. Just clean this thing up. Put it under Williams County's name. I don't want attached to it, so, I'll do it. I'll do it someday.
And Stephanie, did you ever find out anything about what Kevin was talking about at plate?
Of what?
No,
I don't know.
he's not mentioned it again, so.
Okay.
That's just it for the moment.
I don't know.
Just like-
He didn't say nothing to me about a plane, a license plane.
Yeah. I
Oh,
assume-
yeah.
It was something
I heard you say
between
something
you and him. I don't know.
And, yeah, I remember you made it, I just signed claim, used my plate, and you go, I don't know what you're talking about, what plate?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, so, anyway.
Well,
I know the
Okay.
truck has a license plate.
is it, wait a minute, is it for the trailer, that parked in trailer?
The only thing I can think of would be that one trailer out there that's loaded with all that, with the,
Crap
junk.
yeah, with all the junk in it.
I know we talk about this all the time, we really need to clean that area, up. It is so nasty.
A lady picked up the televisions for us, and now Marion, I believe, is having them electronic recycling. I don't know, sometime soon, it's either last Saturday or this coming Saturday.
Somebody emailed me yesterday, recycling. I
And
think they live in Marion.
so we talked about, when I was talking with her,
You go to Marion, you go clean it up.
but anyway.
Ten items.
So, that would be, that's the only plate I could possibly think of. I have talked to Greg about spraying out there, and he doesn't have any idea where the concrete came that was dumped out there in piles.
Was it from out here when they were doing the construction?
He doesn't know, I don't know. No, I haven't
The-
spoken to anybody that
The
knows.
PBC probably owns that. So they would be the ones that take care of that.
But they own it.
They own it.
But it sure does look,
I would think so.
the neighbors are not happy, I'll say that.
I'm not happy.
It's the
I could
PBC's
live by it.
responsibility, so, maybe.
Well, they're coming in for budget,
Oh,
so.
And on November, let me get my calendar, I believe it's the 8th, which is a Friday. Let me get my calendar here.
1 month from today.
Okay. We talked about this, there's gonna be that plaque dedication at the courthouse at 1:00 for, the plaque has a list of all the people who fought in the American Revolution from the Williamson County area. And they found a new name, and they're adding it to it. And they have already given them the plaque, they've already put the name on. They found a descendant that lives in St. Louis, the guy's a doctor, and he's gonna be here. I've already sent an email out to the courthouse, to everyone that wants to come. It'd be just a short little ceremony.
So they're adding it to the plaque, name to the plaque.
The name's on there, and we're gonna rededicate the plaque. And
What time is that?
at 1:00. And I got to contact, I've already talked with Doug. Doug said we could put it anywhere we want. The plaque was whenever, you got to figure long before we had the implementation of the metal detectors. And when you came in, the doors over here, it was on the left. Now you got the metal detectors, you go through that and you naturally look to the officer standing right there to your right or get your stuff. And you don't even see it, it's hidden back there on the left. I didn't even know it was there.
I didn't either.
And so we got it, and we're gonna put it somewhere else now where it's a little more visible. So kind of rededicated, so.
I think a good place would be downstairs in the vestibule that we have.
Here?
Yeah,
See a lot more, probably a lot more.
because we have a lot of visibility here, and it would stand out.
Doesn't have to be in the courthouse. It was just, I guess at the time, the courthouse was
That was the only
everything.
place it had.
So we
I think probably the people that come in here would probably appreciate more than people who go over there.
Probably, and that may be a good
They kind of
suggestion.
go straight to
And
the courtroom.
we can find a
So-
place that would suit better, and probably be a little more suitable.
Typically, the people who come in this building are in a different frame of mind.
What do you think,
than the
Andrew?
People who go over there.
Oh, he said, I wasn't supposed to have any questions asked me.
I have
Catching on quick.
You're gonna make a great attorney.
Okay, but anyway, that's on the 8th.
Anybody
8th
have
at 1
any-
o'clock.
Sounds good, Pat. Anybody else have anything else? Old business or any other monkey business? If not, make a motion that we,
Well, I think that, we'll get back, right?
mm-mm.
Tomorrow morning at, we got the new agenda at 9.
Well, we have a new agenda tomorrow,
Mhm.
so
9 o'clock.
make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Ron Ellis.
Yay.
Well. I'll write you a little bit. I gotta see if Randy's still do that or not.
Okay.
That'd be good. I can watch it last night.